So here we have a blank Swift project, and we want to add a collection view in it. First go to your storyboard. Search for collection view. And drag in your main view. We are setting the width of collection view to full. And same for height. And inside we have collection view cell, we are setting its width to full. And inside it will be the layout of each item, so search for label. And drag inside collection view cell. Select collection view cell, and give it an identifier. This will be used to render it. Now select collection view, and go to outlets. And attach data source of collection view to view controller. And same goes for delegate. Now go to your view controller file. And extend it with UICollectionview data source. And UICollectionview delegate. Now we need to implement two functions. First will be collection view. And this one which has number of items in section. This will tell how many total number of items that will be in collection view. And second function will be collection view. And this one cell for item it. This will be called for each item. Now create an array of objects that needs be displayed in collection view. We are using employee model class. And add exclamation so it will automatically unwrap the array. And initialize it as empty array. Now we need to create this class. Create a new file. Type will be Swift. Name will be employee model. Create a class and implement it with decodable. It will help to decode the JSON data which will be receiving from API. We have created this simple API that returns all employees' records in JSON string. And we need to create these fields in our class. Let's create employee number. Type will be string and it should be unwrapped too. Now again go to your view controller. And here we need to return the number of items in that array. Count will return the number of items in that array. And here we need to return the cell view object. First we need to get the cell. Use this collection view object. And call function dequeue, reusable cell. And here we need to place the identifier we set earlier. Copy this. And paste here. And here we simply place this index path. Now store this in a variable named single cell. And its type will be single cell view. We will create this class in a moment. Also we need to cast this as this class type. Now we need to create single cell view class. Import UIKit first. Extend it with UICollectionview cell. And in your storyboard, select cell view, and set its custom class to what we just created. Now return this cell object. Now build to see if there is any error. Now go to Storyboard. Go to Navigate. And open it in Assistant Editor. In lower window, select Label inside Collection View cell. And in upper window, open the Single View Cell class. Now drag Label to this class to create an outlet of it. Now we need to fetch that data from API and load in collection view. Inside view didLoad function, create a URL object. And here set the path of your API. And also unwrap it. Create a URL request object from this URL. Set the method of this request to get. If you are using post method, then you need to add a value to this request. This will be used when sending large amount of data using post method. And field name will be content type. If you want to send some data with the request, create a string for all the data that needs to be sent. And convert that string into data class object. Encoding will be UTF-8. And unwrap it. And send this post data to request body. Since we are using only get method, so you can comment this, but this will be useful if you are sending post request. Now we need to send this request, use NSURL connection class. And call a method named send asynchronous request. First parameter will be your request object. And second will be your queue, which is the order of this request, since we want this to immediately send this request, so we are setting as main. And we are not going to use completion handler, so just remove it. After the function we attach a callback which will be called when the response is received from server. And it will have response code, data and error. And what we need is the data, so first we will check if the data returned from server is not null. We will use guard statement here that will prevent the function from further executing if there is no value in data object. If there is no value, then we will print the error and return will stop the function. To check what we are receiving from server, we need to convert this data into string. Search for constructor with data and encoding. And we also need to unwrap it. And just print this string in console. So this is the response that we are receiving from server. Now we need to convert this JSON string into array of objects. To do that, first create a do-catch block. And if there is any error we will simply display it in console. First create a JSON decoder object. And call the decode function with it. First parameter will be the class in which the data needs to be decoded, and since this will be an array so we will write it in brackets. And use self keyboard which will points towards class itself. And here will be the data. Save this in our data array. And this will be the line that might throw an exception, so add a try keyboard with it. Now simply display it in console to check if the data is being decoded properly. This is the optional value. We can unwrap it by adding exclamation mark to it. So that is the original value. Now we need to reload the data in collection view. Go to Storyboard. Open it in Assistant Editor. Open View Controller class. Select Collection View, and create an outlet for it. Now simply call the reload data from this collection view. Now the data will be loaded in collection view. In order to view it, go to this function where we specify our custom view cell class. Inside single cell, we have label named employee number, and we can set its text property to data array, get index using index path object, and call item. Item will return the integer index number of current view cell. And get employee number. Now run it and you will see we will have employee numbers. Similarly, you can add as many labels, buttons or image views as you want. We are adding another label inside this cell view to display the first name of employee, which we are also receiving from API. Attach an outlet for it. Now display it same as we did for employee number. And we also need to add it in our employee model class as well. So we have employee number and name for each item. Now we will try to add a search bar, so that user can search data inside this collection view. First, go to your main storyboard. Select collection view. And enable section header. This will add a reusable view inside collection view. Search for search bar view. And drag it inside reusable view. Now select reusable view. And give it a unique identifier. Create a new class that will extend from this reusable view. Name it search bar view. Import UIKit first. Extend it with UI Collection reusable view. If you build the app now, you won't see anything, because we haven't specified this to our custom class we just created. Open your main storyboard in Assistant Editor. First set reusable view custom class. Then create an outlet for search bar inside search bar view. Now we need to add delegate of search bar to our view controller. Extend it with UI search bar delegate. Now we need to implement a function, CollectionView. View for supplementary element of kind. Here we will get our custom class instance. Using this collection view object, called a Q-reusable supplementary view. First parameter will be the kind. We will set the kind of as header. An identifier will be the same as in Storyboard. An index path is from the parameter. Now return this search view. Now build it and you will see that we will have a search bar on header. The search bar has been displayed but we need to make it functional. So implement another function, named search bar search button clicked. This will be called when search button is tapped. Here we will remove the old data and display the searched data, so we need a copy of actual data first. Because after search we need to display the original data again. So create an array same as our data array, and name is real data. And when data is retrieved from API, save it in real data array too. First remove all previous data from data array. Then loop through real data array. Suppose we want to search the data by name, and since we also want the search to be case insensitive, so we call lowercase function. And contains will check if name in collection view has any text from search bar. Search bar.text. Unwrap it. And lowercase. Then we will add this item in our data array. Now there might be a condition where user does not enter any text in search bar and tap search. In this case we will simply display all records. Check if search bar text is empty. Then assign the data array to our real data array. And finally simply reload the collection view. Now you can perform search and it will filter the collection view by name. If you do empty search it will return all records. So that's how you can add a collection view and a working search bar on top of it. If you face any problem, feel free to ask in the comments section below.